go into Beverly Hills in a minute, which is very exciting. What a difference
I
between
told
these two
you.
franchises. Huge difference. But I mean, if you think about it, like you always have the Jersey fans screaming, "Oh, Teresa's a queen and Jennifer's a queen, and they're so booked and busy, and they live these fabulous, like rich lifestyles." And then you go over to Beverly Hills and you see what these girls are doing on the off season. I mean, I know the other two travel as well from Jersey, but I don't see anything similar to what's going on social media surrounding Beverly Hills than what I do with Jersey. And if we know anything about Jersey, is that those two cast members, Jen and Teresa, are so infiltrated with bloggers to push whatever they want out there to stay relevant. Like there's no way they're enjoying life booked and busy. And if they are booked and
Mm-mm.
busy, it's because money might be coming in because it's needed. But comparing them to the Beverly Hills girls, there's no money needed there because those bitches are just rich. They're out actually enjoying and living life. And that's the difference. One cast member over here is just living it up, gives two shits about what is being said about her on social media. And the other two over here in Jersey are just like so miserable because they're not being talked about. They don't see, they're being love bombed by their fans, which they do love and search for. I don't know how many times, David, Teresa, I would talk to her and she'd be like, "What are they saying about me? Is anybody posting anything?" And I would send her screenshots. I'd be like, "Yeah, look, Teresa, somebody just said, oh, Queen of Jersey." And she's like, I love it. Oh my God, it feels so good when they call me a queen. Like they crave it. So it's just such a difference. But I do know for a fact those two are still, very much, even though it's the off season, they may want to post that they're going to concerts and doing things here and there, but they're still stopping their day-to-day life to get involved in what's going on social media because the show is the livelihood to them, not their actual personal life. Like think if you think about it too, like the whole TMZ story that dropped, I didn't see anybody really share it, which was kind of funny because
Yeah, I
Teresa
didn't
went,
even really. What is it? It talks about like
yeah.
just
So
she's opening. Is that
she,
true? She's opening a restaurant with
so
Tia.
so she was gonna do the whole storyline next season. She was pitching to Bravo, and when I was involved in the camp, they were discussing this, so I know this firsthand. She was planning on getting a condo in California because Louie was involved with Vinavia, or she was even thinking of going to Florida. And they were pitching to Bravo producers, Sirens producers, that for season 15, Teresa's storyline, they were going to film her do a partial move to either California or Florida. And, they were going to just follow her in that move. She was possibly thinking of maybe filming a little with Jacqueline Laurita when she was in California. So she was already like selling herself and her storyline for season 15. Well, we all know what happened to Vinavia. They just went bankrupt. There's a lot of
Mhm.
people that came out and said we're not being paid. So that just went kerplunk. So I don't think the move to California is still going down. So she does need to sell a new storyline to producers for season 15. So I'm hearing behind the scenes she's going to go with a restaurant. So I just think that's kind of regurgitated because we already saw her open up a restaurant with the Gorgas. And then if you go further back, right when the Gorgas came on, remember the Giuseppe's restaurant for with the
Yeah,
tribute they did to the father. So
yeah.
they already did the restaurant storyline. But if you go further even back, they did Giuseppe's Pizzeria where Giudice opened up that pizza shop restaurant. So it's just like there's nothing new. It's like a one trick pony. But anyway, so what she did was she called paparazzi TMZ and told her me and Gia are going to look at this spot here. Can you guys meet us there? And boom, here comes Gia and Teresa all glammed up, like, oh, hey, hi. And the paparazzi's just like, hey guys, like, what are you doing here? And she's like, oh, we're thinking of opening up a new restaurant. And Gia was like, oh, my mom's got cookbooks, we're going to keep that going. And I just thought, oh my God, like there's nothing new, nothing. So,
And
I
what is
mean,
the plan? Like, I mean, the restaurant will that's a hard job. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, I mean, she's not Lisa Vanderpump.
yeah.
I mean, like, how is this? And
Yeah.
not to tie in Beverly Hills,
It,
but like,
it'll, I mean, let's say they bring her back and that is the storyline, or let's say they give her a spin-off and that's the show's going to revolve around her having a restaurant. It'll just be like a front for the show. So I don't see like with anything Teresa dips her toes into the electric yoga or the yoga line she did, the jewelry, Danos tequila, like any little venture she dips her toes into outside of the show, it's only for a season. and then it goes per plunk. So I think the same with this restaurant. I don't see her restaurant, if she obtains one, flourishing, kind of like the way Kathy Wakile's Pizza Love restaurant is still going strong
I have
and
eaten there, and let me tell you something. It's not a joke.
delicious.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Let me tell you, I just spoke with somebody who was in that area and they told me, guess where we just ate? And I said, where'd you guys go? And they said, Pizza Love Kathy's restaurant. I said, oh my God, tell me, because let me tell you a story about the reviews, because I looked into it. And it was nothing but phenomenal reviews. And they were like, bitch, no joke. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I thought, well, no wonder it's still open. It's been open for years.
I ate there one night with this friend of mine, Anessa, and Kathy and Richie like invited us in. Like we went with them. They were like, would not let us pay for anything. Like they were so generous. Their chicken parm a vodka pizza is literally to die for. Really, it's their food
Yeah.
is amazing.
Oh my gosh.
It
I
really
always thought
is.
that about Kathy. I always thought that she was a great cook. And I want to tell you who else told me Kathy was a great cook. And it's funny because on the show, Teresa would always make digs, but Teresa herself told me that Kathy is no joke, that she's a good cook, and that her own mother, and I know there was beef between the father and the mother, Kathy's mom and Teresa's dad. But Teresa even told me like her mom is a phenomenal cook. Like even my mom said that her mother was a great cook. So when we see Kathy say, "Oh,
Wow.
that's my mom's recipe in your cookbook," and Teresa gives her side eye, like, "No, it's mine." I totally believe it was Kathy's mom's recipe. I mean, I hear that they were some cooks over there, but no, I don't think that restaurant's going to last longer than whatever show she is on. If she's offered a show or a spinoff, or a season on Jersey. I just think it's a front. It's a storyline.
What's going to happen? Because, like, right, like, look, I think Teresa will either be back or she might have a spinoff, right? I mean, I don't even know who out there thinks Jennifer Aydin is even a discussion. To me, there's no discussion. She's not coming back. Now, what is going to happen? Like, will this friendship last? I mean, because look, let's just be honest. Teresa loves her children the most. I would say Louie, probably a close second. Maybe his kids third, but I don't know. Maybe Money is third, but his kids and Money. I think she loves his kids because if something happened to them, it would devastate Louie, which would affect her life. So maybe we'll put that third. I'd put Money fourth. I would put maybe Joe Giudice just for her own daughter's fifth. And I don't really think there's a sixth.
I would put
So
Fame fifth, and I don't even think Joe Giudice is on the list because according to her, it was a whole nother story behind the scenes. That was not a good relationship. I mean, she fakes it for cameras, but I remember when they went this past New Year's Eve and they met up with Joe Giudice's girlfriend, there was a huge, huge fight between Gia and Teresa at the table because she said that Gia didn't like the fact that Teresa would bring up Joe Giudice on the podcast. And the girlfriend jumped in and said something, who is a lawyer herself, and she defended Gia, and it was a whole thing. And Teresa let it out that she was just like, I'm not going to let this man tell me shit. No one's going to tell me how and what I can say about him. I have to support my girls on my own. He doesn't fucking do nothing. He's a loser. Like, she went off. So I wouldn't even put Joe Giudice on the list. I would put Fame over Joe Giudice any day. But it's the show. The show is her livelihood. That it's a moneymaker for her. Without it, I don't know what she would do. And actually, for Jennifer Aydin, without the show, she's gonna go fucking crazy because number one, she built that big ass house for the show. Everything she sits there and brags about is for the show, for appearance, for that. So